kitchen. Today on the menu, we're making chicken noodle soup. I have a small chicken here, as you can see. I have a couple of chicken wings as well that I'm going to put into my soup. I'm going to use these also as a for my broth, my stock for my chicken noodles. I'm going to bake off both of these, the chicken, the whole chicken and the wings here. So I also have all of my ingredients. I have my celery here. I have my green onions. I have some parsley, some Italian parsley here. I also have my carrots that I gotta go ahead and chop up. I have bell pepper, onion, and I have my lime here. Now this is not going into it. This is something that I'm going to use afterward. So I'll show you how I'll do that. I have here my cream of celery. I also have my cream of chicken. I have a can of chicken broth. So I'm going to just add to it. I also have my better than bouillon. I always carry this to try to keep that in the house. But I'm going to put that in there also for flavor. I have a bag of Muddler's wide egg noodles. I like to use these. I've been using these for a minute. And I'll go ahead and use the other ones that's in the bag that you find at the grocery stores. It looks more, I want to say, it has a little bit of more of a expensive vibe to it, I should say. I mean, not even really, but I don't like the starchy part of it. It seems like they're actually homemade noodles. But I like to use these. They're hard, but hey, it's to your liking. I also have my cracked pepper, my regular pepper, my celery flakes, my chopped onions, my thyme, Italian seasoning here. I have my Celery seasoning salt. I don't know if you can see all that. And I also have my garlic salt, my garlic herb seasoning that I love to use. I have some fresh dill as well. Not fresh dill, I'm sorry. These are minced dills here. I have some rosemary, and I'm going to put a bay leaf or two inside of my soup as well. So these are all of my ingredients that I'm going to be using. Turn the camera here so you can see all of my ingredients that I'm going to be using. And I'm going to go ahead and cut my little chicken, the back part of it up so it can roast and cook easy and even quicker. And I'm also going to go ahead and season it up. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I will be right back to show you the next step to making this delicious homemade chicken noodle soup. Okay, see you in a minute. So I'm back. So what I did was I cut the back part of my chicken out, and I'm going to leave that, save that for later for maybe another meal, or maybe for another chicken and noodle meal for stock. So I'm going to go ahead and start seasoning my chicken. I'm going to go ahead first and put some Celery's seasoning salt on it. Go ahead and get that all over. Work that all in. Get my garlic salt. Give me this. Didn't have much cracked pepper there, so I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle this on top of it. This black pepper here. Use my celery for later. I'm going to go ahead and put some Italian seasoning on it. I'm going to work all of that in as well on top, inside of my chicken as well. This is some thyme. I'm going to use this thyme here. Sometimes they don't make these holes big enough for the seasoning to, or the herbs to come out fast enough for you. And then I'm going to use this onion here for later. I'm not going to put it on just yet. I'm going to use that dill for later, and I'm going to go ahead and use this. So I'm going to wipe off my seasonings too because I've been touching them. You don't want to cross-contaminate some of this chicken here. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use some rosemary. Flakes here. Put that over there. Flip that. Pretty much you can work that inside of it as well. I'm gonna get a lot of that season on my board. So I'm gonna go ahead and work that in. That's my way of doing it. You know, you kind of go as you go with the flow when you're cooking. It's not always the same way every time. I mean, I find myself making this recipe a lot, but at the same time, I may always switch it up a little here and there. But the outcome always turn out nicely. So we got that worked in here. And I'm going to go ahead and put that into my roaster. Take these little chicken wings and put it right here. Put it into my roaster that I have here. Small enough for this chicken. Go ahead and try to add some of those chicken wings in there as well. I'm gonna go ahead and season this up. Black pepper. Do that in a minute. Give me some of that Italian seasoning. Pretty much the same thing. And we're going to add some water to dilute it a little bit. You don't want it to be too over seasoned or too bland with the seasoning. So you're going to go ahead and add that so I can make my broth from that. And a little bit of this garlic herb. My towel's falling here. Get back up. And make sure you clean your board off. After you do this chicken, I have to scrub it down and wipe all my seasonings off. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of this inside of this roaster here. These are like small chicken wings too, so they're not really large, so you can they're gonna cook pretty fast. The chicken wasn't big either, so I'm gonna go ahead and add these in here on the side of the chicken. I've turned my oven on to 375 because I want to go ahead and get this cooking, but I don't want to overcook it. Because after it comes out, I'm going to go ahead and chop my chicken up, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to put it into the bigger stock pot that I have here. So pretty much, I just want to get it, roasted. And it's like I'm crowding my roaster out, but it worked. I normally would bring out my bigger roaster if I needed to, but I don't have to. I'm gonna shake my hands a little bit. Grab this pot. This over here. That over there. Got an extra bowl out. I'm gonna use that as my garbage bowl when I cut my vegetables up. So now what I'm gonna do with this here, sorry for having you stare at this nasty board here, but I got my chicken off, my chicken seasoned. We're gonna add a little bit of water inside because it's already gonna make its own broth. And I have my pot here, my lid to my pot, and I'm going to go ahead and put it into the oven. Be right back. Alrighty, let me get this out of the way. Gotta get ready and clean that off. Back here. And I'm going to show you how I chop up my veggies. I'll be right back with the next step to this delicious meal. Okay, so I'm back. I just cleaned off my board here. I put my board up, my board that I was cutting my chicken on. I cleaned that up and put that up. Now I'm going to use this board here, which is my wooden board that makes so much noise, and I need to get another one. I'm going to go ahead now and dice and clean all my veggies up. Chop them up, cut them up, what have you. So I'm going to rough chop my onion here. Cut that in half, so I'm just going to kind of slice it, slice it, slice it, turn that over, slice, slice, slice. Oh, it makes so much noise. I think one of my little screws at the bottom of it, because I've been working it out now, is actually loose. And then I'm just going to slice through it, like I said, rough chop through it. And so what I decided, I mentioned earlier that I was going to take that chicken back that I cut out, back of the chicken I cut out, and put it up for later. Well, it's later. I'm using that for my stock. I decided that I was going to use that for the stock, and I'm going to add that better than chicken bouillon inside of it, and the canned broth here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add these two inside of that just to stretch it. Along with when the chicken comes out, I'm going to pour that broth also from that roasted chicken and wings into my stock pot as well. So I have right here a shallot. I just chopped up my onion. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is my little garbage bowl I have here. Cut that little part off. Let me see if I can find a little something so this won't wobble so much. We all family here, right? So, hey, you got to make it work. Got to get me another cutting board. I actually ordered one. I have a cutting board that's coming. I ordered it from a friend of mine's. My daughter's friend, she sells Cutco. I'm sure some of you may be familiar with Cutco. And I have a couple of their knives and some things from them that I brought some years back. So I gave her, listened to her presentation, and she was such a sweetheart. And I do love Cutco on top of that. I went on ahead and purchased a few things. So I'm looking forward to getting those. Another knife and a cutting board along with that. So I can't wait. Here's my shallots, my onions. Now here's my green pepper. I'm gonna go ahead and gut that on out. Everybody have their own way of cutting their onions, their green peppers, and whatnot. Hey, I just make it work. It's gutted. It's gutted. So I'm gonna go ahead and be careful with it too. You just want to either flatten it down a certain way and just go with the punches here. And by me being at home, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. If I was cooking for a crew of people or an event or something like that, which I'm not a caterer, but I have helped my sister in the past. My mom used to cook here and there. She used to cook for individuals. You got to be a lot more neater and more precise with your, you know, culinary skills there. So I'm just a home cook, and I cook for my family, and they're gonna eat it. But I also try to put them in the place of me cooking for someone else. You know, well and out. So hey, that's my family. I'm giving them the best as well. But I'm just saying my chopping skills is not the best. So, hey, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Working on it. So we pretty much rough chopping these green peppers as well. I just love veggies because they look so vibrant when they're all chopped up together. Got all these colors here. You got the onions, it's yellow, and you got the shallot that has that pinkish tone to it, and you got your green bell peppers here that's green, which is my favorite color. And we got this orange carrots here. Need to get a bowl because my cutting board is actually getting smaller. So let me grab a bowl here. Use my dog. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop up my celery here. And these are like the good part. So for the rest of my video, I had to go ahead and do a voiceover. I had a little bit of feedback in the back, of course. You heard my dog barking. And so I'm going to go ahead and finish up this way. I'm chopping up my carrots right now. I'm taking the stems off of it. I'm doing a little shredding of the skin there from the carrots. Taking some of that off. These carrots were like small. They were pretty much like baby-sized carrots. So I'm going to go ahead and take the skin off, rinse them off, and then, well, I already rinsed them off, but I end up chopping them in little bitty pieces here, not too thin. Just want to go ahead and get those, diced up, and so I can actually stretch them out throughout my soup there. So next, I end up having, I got that Italian parsley. I'm taking some of those stems off of the parsley, and I'm going to go ahead and rough chop those as well. I have my garlic here that I'm just breaking up, and I'm going to go ahead and take the skin off of it. And that's the easy way to do it. Just hit it, but be careful with your knife. Wherever way you do it, you don't even have to use a knife. You can use the palm of your hand or the bottom of your hand and just kind of push it down and just break it up and chop it up. So right here, I have my stock pot. I'm actually going ahead and get ready to put all my broth in there. I have my Better Than Kitchen bouillon. I have the veggie flavor that I love. I actually ran into this one when I started buying my beef flavor and my chicken. I said, they got the veggie one too, so I can go ahead and even put that so it can even just bring out that flavor even more with the vegetables. So there's my roasted chicken flavor there. I'm putting a little bit of that inside of my stock there. I already put that the chicken back that I cut out earlier, used that as a base for the broth, so I didn't have enough of it for my stock. So I'm going ahead and just put that kitchen bouillon in there and everything, and then that'll emphasize that flavor even more. So there's my beautiful vegetables that I just chopped up. I'm going ahead and put that inside of the stock pot. I'm going to let that cook down. I put my bay leaf, 2 of those pieces of bay leaves in there. There's my chicken. I'm spraying it with some olive oil. I got the chicken wings in there as well with the whole chicken. And it smells so good, looking good. I'm not going to cook it completely through, like to get it so brown, because I'm going to go ahead later and chop that up and put it in my soup. So there's my vegetables. They're breaking down. They're getting really soft, smelling good. I got 2 cans of cream of chicken. Well, 1 can of cream of chicken, and the other one is cream of celery. So I'm opening that up because I'm going to go ahead and get ready and put that into the soup as my base as well. So sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. And sometimes I use just half of the can of both of them. if I don't use the celery, because I already have it in there. But I'm going to go ahead and put both of those cans in there later. I have a nice size stock pot, so I might as well go ahead and use it both. There's my chicken. I'm going ahead, look at my wings. They look really nice. They're small, so I'm going to go ahead and put those in there. It's no worries. I mean, it's going to break down probably later anyway, so the bones from the wings are probably going to fall at the bottom of the pot, so it won't be, it won't be in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in there. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my chicken and go ahead and put it on my cutting board and just cut it up. So sometimes I just use all chicken breast, and then I'll go ahead and slice it up and use all the white meat, and then, take some of the dark meat and, take all take the meat off the bone and just put it into the pot. But I'm going to go ahead and cut all that up, get all the meat as possible off of this nice little chicken here. And try to stretch it as much as possible. And I'm going to go ahead and put that into my stock pot later. So that's all broken up. Got some nice pieces out of there. You just got to take your time. There's a little chicken leg there, so some of the dark meat, I'm going to go ahead and take that out. Make sure I don't have too many bones. We already got the bones from the chicken wings from earlier. I actually put some turmeric as well in my pot. So that gave that golden color to it. I put a little bit too much turmeric, but it didn't overpower the taste of the soup at all. And so I put my cream of chicken, I put my cream of celery in there, and now everything is combining together. I end up rinsing off my noodles, and I warmed them up a little bit with some hot water and rinsed them off to get some of that starchiness off from the bag because it wasn't fresh. So like I said, it's to your own preference which noodles you like to use. The ones that's in a bag that's already pretty much homemade and just pre-packed. But it's up to you. So I just went on ahead and used those, and they turned out nice. Here's my lime that I was talking about that I was going to use. I like to use a little lime in my chicken noodle soup. I just squeeze it. I've started doing this like maybe about 6 years now. Just me, My husband likes it now, but it's acquired taste. I squeeze a little bit in there. I saw someone do that on a recipe once, and it turned out so good. So I sliced those up. I sliced up the parsley, and I just sprinkle, put that to the side so I can put that onto my chicken into my individual bowl later. Look at that soup there. Doesn't it look good? It smells good in here. It's so much flavor in it. The carrots are beautiful and colorful, popping out, peeping out of the bowl there. Then you got your greenery that's in there. Everything just came together so well. And there's the lime. I take a little bit of the lime juice and just kind of squirt a little bit over it. And then I put a little bit of my parsley for, color. Presentation is everything. And put my little other piece of lime there so I can just go ahead and put a little bit more on there. And there we have it. We have our chicken noodle soup, homemade style, comfort food, easy breezy chicken noodle soup. I absolutely love this comfort food. Thank you guys. I appreciate you just coming by and looking at my video. Homemade works every time, right? Thanks for watching. I do appreciate you.